Hello and welcome to Tuimada, our beautiful office in Beverly Hills. My name is Alina,
I'm Brandon.
and today we're going to talk about the differences in real estate in Arab Emirates and United States. Brandon.
Yes, Alina, you're the expert. Teach me. There's obviously some big differences in the real estate markets in UAE and the United States, how they operate and work. But I'm just learning these things. Obviously, I know a lot about the real estate market and how it works in the United States, but maybe you, having more experience in both markets, have like what do you see are some like the biggest differences between real estate in the UAE and how it works, and real estate in the United States and how it works?
Well, you've been to Arab Emirates as well, and
Hmm.
you saw that it's a completely new country that is
Yes.
just building the infrastructure. And we're here in the United States, we're used to already built infrastructure here in Los Angeles, for example, right? And if the developer builds the building, the development is just only development. In Arab Emirates, it's usually like master communities with different kind of
Right.
phases. And what is the most important thing is that it's a completely new country, and they have an an opportunity to build something very new, something the best, like the best of the best, because they saw the different countries all over the world, and they took something the best from other cities and put it in all this mini like a small country which is called Arab Emirates.
Yeah, I think that's even one thing in itself that even before going to Dubai, I didn't understand like what the UAE really was, and that it's they're emirates, like we have states kind of, and I would just think Dubai and UAE are the same thing, but there's Abu Dhabi, there's Ras Al Khaimah, which is another place that we were able to visit, and is like very very early stages of being developed right now, which um, I do. I think it's interesting that they took ideas from like successful nations all over the world, and like because it's so new over there, they're able to implement those things really well there. And yeah, they give more opportunities for investors in the UAE to like be involved in projects where yeah, here for developers you're not really able to invest unless you're an actual investor, like an accredited investor. You're not like a regular person's not able to like invest in a new development or like a new building or a new high rise. So um, I think they push really hard in Dubai in the UAE to bring like tourists and bring people who aren't familiar with the region like there, and I think that's been a really successful way of doing that, because even me as like an investor and somebody who's like interested in real estate, I saw that and I'm like, wow, this is an opportunity that you would never get in the United States, but you are able to do that here. So that was pretty, like, I had no idea that existed before I went there.
Yeah, you can sense the difference of even like different vibes in different Emirates. There are
Yeah.
seven Emirates in Arab Emirates, and for example, I would choose Abu Dhabi for the future, as even though
Yeah.
it's just in the early very stage of development comparing to Dubai, because Dubai is pretty much it's like a big city already, even though it's still developing and it's so much more opportunities to grow for the city. But Abu Dhabi, it's 87% out of the whole country. And I think it's the future. And I think it's the best city to live in um, since it's a capital. But we
Right.
will talk
Abu
about,
Dhabi is it's the capital of the UAE,
yeah,
right? Which I don't think a lot of people know as well.
yeah. But we will talk about the best locations a little bit later, where to invest. But for now, we'll talk about the investment in real estate, how it works there. And there are different kind of investments. For example, there is long term, short term, as you know. For the long term, there is much higher ROI, which is return on investment, than in the United States, if I'm not wrong.
I mean, it depends on the market and how you're like where you're investing, but yeah, for sure. Obviously, because you're able to get into things so early, your ROI can be much higher over there.
Plus
For sure.
0% tax. There is no income tax. There is no property tax, which is very important
Yeah.
for people who invest there. And also the HOA fees are not that high.
Do
And
they still exist in the UAE? Do they still have HOA fees or?
service charge.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
but service charge is around for one bedroom in the new building with all the different kind of amenities, like swimming pool, clubhouse, gym, movie theater, golf. I don't know, different
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
amenities. It's $300 per month, around that,
Ah, right.
which is
For
not that
most
high.
communities.
Yeah, yeah. If we're talking about long-term investments, then, for example, more budget options where to invest, the starting price point is $165,000. You can find even less for $150,000, but I would say 165 is more. It's like it's easier to find a studio for that price, and that's going to be a much better option for a long-term investment because first of all there's a payment plan with 0% interest fee, 0% interest fee. You pay out this payment plan. You still have different kind of options like post handover payment plan. You can get the keys after the handover, after the completion, and you still pay out the payment plan without any interest fees. For example, there is one project right now which has 56% during the construction and 44% after the keys. You pay 1% each month. It's around $2,000
Oh
each
wow.
month
Yeah.
after the keys. So you have like almost 3.5 years till payment plan, and you can pay out the apartment from the rental, the
Right. Yeah,
payment.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If you decide not to live in it, you can,
yeah.
use it for rental
Uh,
property.
but it's mostly, I think it's a very good investment, and plus the ROI is pretty high because you can get your money back in 10 years.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah, sure.
yeah, here in the United States, because of the like taxes, all the taxes, insurance, HOA fees, all of that, it's usually 6% ROI, 7% ROI maximum,
Yeah, yeah,
from what
yeah.
I know.
Well, it depends on the market, but you have to be a little more like fluid in the United States, I feel like with like I feel like it's easier to like set it and forget it invest in Dubai where it's like anywhere you go basically if it's off plan you're getting in early and you're going to see a good return on your investment. As in the United States it's a little different where you have to be like pretty knowledgeable of the area you're investing in. You have to probably have some type of experience investing, and you can't just like be like, oh, I heard this area is good. Like it might have been good to invest in like Austin, Texas, like 5 or 6 years ago, but maybe it's not so good right now. Like that changes a lot. So I feel like as a real estate investor in the U.S., you have to be a little more hands on than in Dubai. There's like opportunity everywhere, which is a little different than here.
I would still say that it's very important about the location as well
In
as in
Dubai, of
Dubai.
course,
Yes,
yeah, 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 of course, yeah,
because there are some projects which are, I don't think that it's a good investment, even though after, for example, 10 years obviously the price will appreciate
right.
in price, the price for the rentals will also appreciate.
Much more than you would in the United States.
Yeah, because each year it's usually 5% appreciation for the rentals.
Yeah, which is a lot. I mean, 5% appreciation is pretty good.
Yeah, and for overall the price of the the real estate, like apartments, it's even higher. I
Yeah,
feel like, yeah, appreciation is even higher than for rentals. But yeah, I agree on that. And I would say that comparing to the United States, that even though you have to know the locations, I know that a lot of people do flipping here. I
yeah,
think it's a like different kind of science even
yeah,
that
definitely,
you have to learn.
definitely. Well, it's very like flipping is very hands-on. It's not like you can't just put your money somewhere and just think like, oh, it's gonna get. Hey, it's like very, very hands-on thing
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
So I feel like you have to be a certain type of investor to even be interested in flipping because there's so much that can like go wrong or that you have to oversee. Whereas like in Dubai, especially with like some of these developers that are like owned by the government, you're able to just it's like to me investing in like the stock market or something where like if I invest in like Apple or Ford or something, like I feel very comfortable with like this is a huge business and I can just put my money there and like I trust that it's going to grow. Like in Dubai, if you're investing with these like government developers, you feel pretty comfortable like there's a very good like safe chance that this will go okay. As far as like flipping, it's
Yeah.
like you have to buy and then things go wrong and then you have to make sure the contractor's doing their job and like it's much more like and labor intensive like here, I feel like.
Yeah, there it's like hands-free
Yeah,
investment,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
and it's very important who you choose, with whom you invest, like an agent,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because without an agent, it's impossible. Without
Yeah, of
knowing,
course.
because you
Yeah.
don't know what project. You can see like different ads online, but as far as I know, because I have a huge experience doing real estate there, and I see like different companies, different developers here that promote themselves. But I wouldn't say that this are the best developers.
Which ones? What do you mean?
I'm not gonna
No,
say
but what?
specific names
No, but
of the developers, but who does the marketing here in the United States
oh, you're saying like there's
from Arab
some
Emirates?
okay that
Yeah,
market here. Yeah, 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 for
yeah,
sure.
because a lot of we have a lot of clients coming to Imara asking to sell out their apartments from those developers, and um, I feel like it's at this moment it's impossible. That's why we choose. We know we have a lot of experience, and we do long-term relationships with our clients. So basically, if you buy with us, we're gonna rent it out, we're gonna resell, and it's very important what project you choose for your client, because then you can get stuck with this unit or villa or apartment and you won't be able to do anything. But since we're doing long term, we want to make sure that this, specifically this investment, is good and we can work with this investment in the future, what is important. But if we're talking about short-term investments, I feel like this is very interesting because there are options in different locations. For example, downtown Dubai, it's where the Burj Khalifa is. You probably know, the tallest building in the world. You've been there, you know.
Yeah, of
We
course.
even stayed there.
It was amazing. Yes.
Dubai Mall is the largest mall in the world. Um, this location is very nice, but I feel like this is not the best location to invest right now at this moment because it's already at the top price point. So it's very important for like the top locations. If we're talking about the short term, it's usually the top locations, but the locations that are in the like um, at this moment that are in the development.
Yeah. Yeah.
For example, in Dubai, there's Dubai Island or Mina Rashid. Do you remember by Amar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've been there. So there are three main government developers in Dubai. It's Nahil, it's 100% government developer. It's Miras, which is under right now under the same Dubai holding with Nahil, and Emar. And they have like 59% is government, 51% is government, and 49% is private. Um, but yeah, so those three developers are usually like the most, how to say that, like in the demand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they probably do the most like new developments there.
Yeah. Well, can you tell how you were shocked when you realized that those developers, whenever they have launch, it just sells out quickly?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it was definitely like, I mean, there's a lot that has to do with the Dubai real estate market that I couldn't really understand until I went there, or at least like talk with people like in depth that are very familiar with it. I think that's what like most American investors need. They need somebody who's like they trust and they know that's like very knowledgeable about it. Because if not, it's just hard to like hear these little like tidbits online and things that don't really make sense. But um, yeah, I was very shocked by the demand. But I think that's also because I'm an American and like we just see America and it's so big and we are so focused on our own country. But you forget that like the UAE is obviously kind of on the other side of the world from us, but it's surrounded by so many other like huge nations in the Middle East, China, Africa, India. You have all these people from all those places. The UK, obviously, that um, also there's people there that have second homes or are able to work remote, and like there's so many benefits of living in a place like Dubai. Like there's so many people on the other side of the world
Yeah.
who like buy these places. We just think as like Americans, like, oh, I don't know anybody who's invested in Dubai, so like who does that? But like there's and obviously like Eastern Europe, and there's it was very that was something I loved about over there was like the mix of cultures and how many different like people from different areas were there. And obviously, yeah, they sell out of these properties like very, very quickly.
85% of um, the population in Arab Emirates are expats. So we are used here in the United States to immigrants. And the same for Arab Emirates, like 85%. And the more and more people are coming and relocating, the more companies are relocating there because of the taxes. It's not that high for corporate tax. And even in DIFC, it's 0% tax
Yeah.
for companies that are registered there because DIFC is like zone only. They have an English,
Yeah.
how's it
It's
called?
very interesting because you can like I actually went there once. Um, not my mistake, but I had an appointment in that area,
Yeah.
and I was kind of shocked how different DIFC was from like what I was used to in downtown Dubai, and it was like very close. It's not that far, but I like instantly felt like, oh, I'm definitely in a different part of Dubai just being in there.
Different part of the world is like
Yeah,
completely different.
yeah,
Yeah. We were talking about short-term investments. So, for example, there are different kind of locations right now where I think, and I think you as well would agree with me, where people should invest. For example, Al Marjan Islands is where the casino, the Wynn Casino that we know from Vegas, is going to be. It's a 4 billion project, and people are investing there. And from 2023 to quarter 4 2024, the price went up for the square feet up to 4 times.
wow, yeah,
And it's not even, it's just the beginning. The casino will be ready in 2027. So I think it's like one of the top locations that are in the huge growth right now, and it's just developing the whole island. It's a man-made island, and they even received the license for the casino. Not a lot of people believed in it, but it actually happened.
yeah. It's like a miracle.
Yeah,
Definitely.
in Arab country, a Muslim country, this happened. But yeah, and it's like growing a lot, and by 2027, the price will get appreciated, and a lot of people invest in it. So if there is a payment plan, for example, 50-50, which means 50% during the construction, you pay out like 10 or 20% down payment, then 10% in 6 months or so. And a lot of people invest the 50%. For example, if the price of the unit is $500,000, they invest 250K, 250,000, and then the price will get appreciated. And the price of the unit is already 700,000, $700,000. They sell out, they invest 250, and they get the $200,000, and they sell it before they even the keys, so they don't even pay 100%.
Yeah.
You can sell during the construction, which, for example, in the United States, it's impossible.
Yeah, we don't have anything like that here. And usually, because projects here aren't in like super like newly developed areas, you don't have like 100% appreciation, or I shouldn't say appreciation. You don't have 100% profit on a project like you can like in something you're talking about in the UAE, where if you're paying on a payment plan and you've only invested half of what it is so far, just based off the appreciation of the property when you want to sell it before you get the keys, you're making on your cash spent, you're making 100% profit.
Yeah, it depends on the location. I'm just saying, like, the minimum what I think the price will get appreciated, but it's probably going to be more than that.
Yeah, sure.
It's just I don't want to say something and then and then it's better to say something minimum than
Definitely, yeah.
yeah.
There's definitely, I saw projects there that appreciated a little less than that or a little more than that. So there's definitely like examples all over the place, but it's still a great opportunity that you wouldn't get here in the real estate market that you do get there. You just have to definitely be investing in the right areas there. So I love that whole area where they're building the Wynn Casino. I do think it's like it's just going to drive ton of tourism there. So I think it will be really good for short-term investments if somebody wants to buy an apartment or buy a villa and do like Airbnbs there, where you also like you're able to rent it out when you're not there, but also if you want to visit and you're somebody who wants to go to the casino and stay there, like you also have a property that's making you money that you can also go and stay at. Like I think it's a really good investment, that area specifically.
Yeah, and they're developing the area a lot, and they're gonna have
Yeah.
this crypto world
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
this emirate, which will be legal to pay everything with cryptocurrency
Yeah.
and
They do a lot of things over there. I feel like that are like the first of its kind. You know, like
yeah,
there's nowhere else in the world like that, which is pretty cool. And I think it attracts people from like everywhere. You know,
yeah.
like
They're gonna have the largest airport in the world, Al Maktoum Airport. They're gonna have the Etihad Railways, which gonna each emirate is gonna get connected with the. In 10 minutes, you can get to another emirate, and Saudi Arabia and Oman as well. And they're developing their medicine. They're developing and opening a lot of schools, international schools, and universities. Um, they're just doing everything to make the country the best in comfort for living, and even like talking about the climate as well, they're changing the climate.
yeah, it's definitely really interesting that
Yeah,
people think is like kind of crazy, but I think it just speaks to how much the government there is putting their money behind like making the UAE very comfortable for people, you know? Like in the summertime it's so hot there that many people leave or many people are like, "Oh, I would never like live here full time because of like I it's unbearable in the summer." And the government's
yeah,
like, "Oh, okay, well, we'll put billions of dollars behind like fixing the climate so it's more comfortable for people to live." So, I think there's a lot of examples of where the government does that to attract people to want to live there more, and
yeah.
they've done really well with it for sure.
Well, that's what I like about the government of UAE is that they're trying to change, and if they have any problems in their country, they're trying to do something with that. They're
Yeah.
trying to solve that, and we are not used to it here.
Yeah, it's the
That's
opposite
true.
here.
Yeah, it's the opposite. It's like yesterday I was walking down the Hollywood. I was like, it's a lot of people every single day. Tourists are coming to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it like that?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why nobody's changing the area? I love United States, but it's like sometimes I want to invest my own money, but to change something in these places because even there's so much more things to do and that you can develop the country, in my honest opinion. So yeah. But well, there are different kind of differences. Well, no, wait. There are a lot of differences between Arab Emirates and United States. And if you have any questions and if you want to talk about real estate in Arab Emirates, please contact us
Absolutely. Definitely.
and
We
we
would
will,
love to help.
yeah, we would love to help you.